Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality. Hello, good evening and welcome to Cymatic TV. Tom Lawless here with your energy update. In this channel we go through how the solar energy, the sun's energy, the prana energy, the earth's energy and the human vibration connects to one another and actually integrates into a system that we call life. So, if you do like this type of videos, if you do like it, please do like, subscribe. Don't forget, click that bell for all notifications as it comes through. And sharing this video or commenting on this video is helpful for us as well. It helps get the word out there to everybody. So, what's been going on with the energy since the last sort of week, 10 days? From the vibrations that came through last week, it seems to have been pretty constant apart from the last few days. The last few days seem to have been a little bit on edge, as it were. And the vibration might have felt that way for yourselves. It certainly has within my healing front. There's been a lot of complications within the healing side that I do that are due to medical procedures, and as you can tell what time it is. I've had a lot of that with muscular problems and thrombosis and that sort of thing, sort of kicking in. It's been playing quite a bit on sort of joints and stuff like that as well this week. It's been coming through. I've had also the skin problems that are still sort of going forward at this present time. But there is definitely a little bit more sort of activity that's going on in the sun. It's taken still a lot of time to kick in, and it's not kicking in as often as it should be, as you can well see on the X-ray flare chart there, just to the side of me. You can see that we've had some 3 smaller ones, and then we've had an M flare that sort of kicked off yesterday morning, and that will take a couple of days to get to us. So it will be here on Monday morning around about sort of 6 o'clock, pretty much the time that it kicked off on Saturday morning. And so it's taken 48 hours to get here, so it's pretty quick. Usually it takes around about sort of 3 days. It can take a lot shorter time than that. It depends on the magnetic connection, but it's going to be the first real test of cycle 25. It's also going to put a nice big shock through the system. And this is where you might have felt the energy was a little bit on knife edge over the last 2 days, simply because of that vibration coming through, that came through on the Saturday morning. And from there on in, it was, it's like anticipation. That's what it feels like. There's a lot of anticipation in the air, and the sun's helping to create this. One of the reasons why it's like that is simply because there's a planetary alignment that just went through at the moment between Earth, Mercury and Mars. Mars being on the other side of the sun and Mercury obviously between us and the sun. So it was almost as if like the sun was sort of like re-emphasizing the universal message. And this is what this sort of anticipation in the air could feel like when we all know, like all animals know as well, that something is brewing. And this is what you might have felt over the last sort of like 2 days. It may have come up as anxious feelings within you, and it might have put you a little bit more on sort of edge and stuff like that. But it's sort of, it's a large flare, it's an M flare, but it's not an X flare or very large X flare. So it's going to be a good test on how it works on the vibration of the Earth at the moment. And then obviously on us. We'll come back to that a little bit later on in the video. Let's just have a quick look at the earthquakes and what's been going on. And these are just 3 shots for going back from, I think, Friday, Saturday and Sunday today. Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, sorry. So you can see there's getting on Thursday there was a real nothing day, like it was a bit like all over the place. You might as well say it was a plexus, the solar plexus, but I don't really think it was. And then from there on in, after that, then we have the solar plexus kicking really in around Vanuatu and around New Zealand and stuff like that. And also then after that, we had the following day, which was around the heart chakra, And then today, when the vibrations are coming in, we have the root and the crown. Now, as you can see on the sun, and I'll just show you this image now, as it's coming through, it almost looks like it's a face speaking to us. That's what I can see in it, you know what I mean? That's the sort of prana winds, that's the vibration, the energies, the sort of coming down through the system, and it's going to gradually come up into you. And what are you going to do with it? That's the most important thing. It's absolutely fantastic when you can really get involved with it at first hand. Because you've become a real living part of this thing that we call life. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So, you know, then, and so he's got this crown, you know, it's like his crown explodes in that image as it flares off. Just sort of, you know, are we going to have a moment this week of a real sort of understanding, a real clarity of thought, a real clarity of being? I think that's probably going to come through this week, and it'd be very interesting to see what happens across the globe through all sort of concerns. You know, what's sort of happening with that sort of vibration and that possibility of realization that, you know, by many of maybe we've gone a little bit too far in certain things, you know, and it's maybe a time to readdress the bar and put, you know, stable the ship, as it were. It'd be quite interesting to see what actually happens. On the electromagnetic sort of sense, as the vibration sort of comes through on the early mornings of Monday, it'd be very interesting to see what happens in the frequency of the chakras of the globe. Therefore, it will transcribe into your chakras as an individual, and it all depends on what we're all going through. Obviously, none of us are going through the same thing or doing the same thing, but it's the vibration and the energy that is behind all of that is what we're concerned with. So, you know, it'd be interesting to sort of see how that sort of flows through. I'm actually sitting on the line at the moment, the ley line, or the geomagnetic line, as I like to call it, coming through, the lady line. And I just want to see what the frequency is in there. So as I just gradually slow down, I do the connection, and the connection is really easy. There's a much better constant than it was before, and it was. So there we go. Now we got the plexus. We got the solar plexus. Really big solar plexus, and then the throat. Very light, tingling, easy. Less is more is almost the message in that. Less words, but more action, I guess. And then you have the third eye that's coming through, and that's it. The root is really going in now. And now we got the crown chakra coming in as well. And then it goes back to the crown and root at the same time, and there you go, that's the frequency ended. Much slower energy. That was really interesting too, the other times. It's a much slower energy of what normally sort of comes through, but it's very defined, which is a really good sign, I think. And it's, so you get you know, we start off with the solar plexus, and then you get the throat and the third eye. It's a real logical progression. You know, it doesn't normally go like that. That's not how the human energy actually circulates in a natural sort of state. But that's the added vibration on top. The human vibration starts off with the heart, then it goes to the solar plexus, then it goes to the throat, third eye, then it goes to the sacrum, and then it goes to the root and the crown. Root and the crown restarts again. Yeah, it goes back on itself and then restarts again. So, you know, that's the added vibration that's sort of coming through at the moment, and it seems like the message is a case of not conflictual in the sense of physical confliction. Physical conflict. I'll get the words out in a minute. But much more of a realization. This is nice. This is very interesting. A realization that other things are really possible. And it's going to be transcribed. It's almost going to be said before we realise. So it's like when someone's saying something, and that makes you kind of go, the light bulb, you have that light bulb moment within you, and you just kind of go, oh, right. You know what I mean? Very interesting. Very interesting. It's going to make a realisation that we've actually got work to do now. You know, we've got stuff to do. Get on and move on and start creating something completely new. You know, from the ashes of, to be honest, I'd just bury the ashes in the earth and use it as like compost and let things grow again and replant up, start from scratch. That'd be probably the best thing. But yeah, so the vibrations that are coming through on the health front, you might have, if you've got back problems and stuff like that, be careful. The beginning part of this week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, I would have thought that would be a bit of a problem. I would also be careful if you do have heart problems as well. Make sure you're relaxed. Don't get too stressed out about life. Take it easy. In traffic jams, just wind down the window, relax, and just let the air breeze through if you can, if it's raining and sunny where you are. So, just take it easy on that sort of front. I think it might be a little bit easier on the digestive front, and that's been quite a big problem as well for people over the last sort of week, I think. It's been pretty hectic. But anyway, that's your sort of energy update. I will be going into a lot more depth into this whole sort of thing as it's coming through. If you want to see any of the videos, I will be posting the videos on the Facebook page. So please click on the link below, go and follow us on Facebook or on Instagram, one or the t'other. And I will see you there. Yeah. Interesting week. Tell me about it. Okay? Love to you all. In the meantime, don't forget, have fun, and ciao for now. Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.